Comrades, I apologize ahead of time, but I'm going to have to take this next story just a little bit personally. As some of you are aware, there is a movie out by Disney called Frozen that takes place during the time which the Danish occupation of Norway occurred. Now in this story, what is based on a Danish fairy tale, the Snow Queen, the Sami people are depicted in the movie, and that depiction is that they all have white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Now, I figured I should step in on this because I'm Sami myself. Now, the outrage that some people have demonstrated is the fact that at the time in which the story would take place, the Sami people would not look this way at all. In fact, they would have been dark-haired, and they would have had reddish, various shades of red skin, somewhat akin to Native Americans. It's the way the Sami people were at the time, and then over the centuries, we became whiter and whiter and whiter with closer and closer contact with Europeans. Now, some people have taken exception to this because they see it as an inaccurate portrayal. It's important here to correct some people on the idea that the Sami and the Danish existed in the same place. Well, that's not the case. What happened was between, I believe, 1661 and 1814, the Danish had control over what is known as Norway, and that's where this tale actually comes from. So there are no actual Sami in, Danish territory, other than obviously a few cases of immigration. By that I mean the Danish aren't sitting on native Sami ground. Now, to the people who have complained about the historical inaccuracy in the Disney movies surrounding the appearance of Sami people, while I do agree with you their portrayal was inaccurate, it is Disney, and asking for historical accuracy in Disney is asking too much. Now in steps Tumblr to make things worse. One Sami blogger on Tumblr said that they didn't feel that they were offended by anything in the movie because they themselves too were blonde, white, blue eyes. Now, they said they also resented a lot of social justice warriors all of a sudden speaking up for the Sami, and then in doing so portraying us inaccurately. The way a lot of white liberals end up portraying African Americans improperly when they're trying to defend them, and often trying to speak over them in terms of their own defense, which is wrong. The person took exception to Tumblr trying to speak for the Sami instead of letting us speak for ourselves. You all tell white, straight, cis people to check their privilege and to not speak on behalf of people of color. But so many people who are not of my culture are speaking on behalf of us, and I find it very hypocritical. Most of you have never even heard of the Sami culture until this film. So please, put down the virtual pitchforks and just enjoy the movie. This is actually a very good point to make. It's extremely hypocritical on the part of Tumblr to try to speak for us when they shout at white, cis, male, gender, bi, otherkin, whatever, for trying to speak for anybody else. Now, this is the response that one social justice warrior had to that. All I read was, "I'm white, and I still do not understand my privilege. I think that the inclusion of people of color means that white people are being harmed. No one cares about your white tears!" In other words, instead of making a real point, Tumblr just acted like Tumblr. Now, here's the reality of what the situation is like in a lot of the places where the Sami continue to live. The Sami largely are treated as second-class people. Even though we're white, and so are the rest of the people in the country, they're also white. But yet the Sami are still treated as second class, despite the fact that we have the same skin color, because there's still a historical context to everything that is going on, meaning there's a whole huge history there that Tumblr just doesn't seem to either know or just doesn't care. All they see is white skin, so must be attacked. This detaches from the real relations of people that exist in the country. There is a reason why there is an idol no more, Sapmi, Sapmi being the actual name for Sami territory. The point I would like to make here is that myself and this blogger both have the right to speak to our own people because it is our people. And what we don't appreciate is people like the Tumblr social justice crowd that have no idea what they're talking about, jumping in and start screaming as though somebody wasn't respecting their pronouns or they're not checking their privilege. We are a race of people. We have a right to discuss our own affairs. You cannot shout us down and then try to speak for us. That is condescending and insulting. And I particularly hate Tumblr for this. If white people don't have the right to speak for people of color, which they don't, then you also do not have the right to speak for us. We can speak about our own issues, and I would appreciate it if you would shut the hell up. And before I go, I would just like to make one more point. There's something that bothers me about the Tumblr social justice crowd. Their deliberate ignorance or ignoring of third world poverty. Should we not be surprised that when social justice takes its form in the first world, that this particular form takes place on the internet, where people are privileged enough to have access to it, and the fact that it is dominated by white and middle class people who completely ignore the existence of poverty in the third world. Tumblr social justice reeks of white first world privilege, because the biggest issue they can seem to focus on are things that are directly related to themselves and their own privileged position, which they're always telling people to check. Yes, the Tumblr social justice crowd is the epitome of privileged white first world people that don't check their privilege while telling everyone else to do it. Thank you for watching. Please comment and rate the video. If you liked it, hit subscribe or check out some of these other great videos. If you wish, share it on social media. While you're at it, why don't you follow me on Twitter? And if you got time, go on over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.